Hi, this is Amy from Tapping with Amy, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to go over the third question in our series of 3 critical questions to ask yourself in order to unblock your healing. So, in my journey with self-care and just personal growth, I've come to the conclusion that 99% of the healing comes as a result of figuring out what the core issue is, because it's not always that clear what's causing some of the things that you're facing these days. So that's why these 3 critical questions are so important, because you need to be a detective. You need to be determined and diligent to find that answer, and sometimes it's not always that clear. So asking yourself these questions is really, really important. And I want to suggest that being willing, very, very willing and open to hearing what the true answers are, hearing what your heart has to tell you, and being really honest with yourself about what the answer is, that's going to get you further than you realize. So try not to judge whatever the answers are. Try not to be really critical of yourself, or maybe fear is driving you in some cases, or maybe I don't know. It could be anything, but just try not to be critical of what the answers you come up with are, because it doesn't mean that you have character defects. It means that you're getting closer to answers and closer to a way to get to let them go through tapping. So finding those answers is really, really critical. Try not to judge them, and just be open and willing to look at everything, to leave no stone unturned. So the first question that we discussed was, is it possible to let this go? Some people might feel that after a while of dealing with some issue that they just might throw up their hands and say, this is the way I am, and accept it and move on. So that's the first one. The second one was, is it safe to let this go? Now this one was a really critical one for me, because everything felt scary. I was afraid of rejection, and I was afraid of abandonment, and people not loving me, people not liking me, and that really paralyzed me in a lot of areas of my life. And it caused some physical problems as well. So that was a big one for me. Now the third question I want to ask you is, do you want to let this go? Now I know it sounds like the answer would be a no-brainer on that one. You might say, of course I want to let this weight go. Of course I want to let this pain go. That sounds like a silly question. However, I would like to suggest that in a lot of cases, there might be some secondary gain to holding on to whatever it is. And another way of asking yourself this question might be, what is the downside to losing weight? What is the downside to getting rid of this knee pain? What would I have to do if that happened? I wouldn't have an excuse anymore. So think about it in those terms as well. So keeping extra weight on might be your excuse for not pursuing something that you think would not be possible with extra weight. Or keeping some knee pain might keep you from, I don't know, facing, having a confrontation with somebody that feels really uncomfortable to you. You have no idea, but you need to ask yourself these questions and really look at it deeply, and then really honestly, and just have the goal be to find the answer, not to judge yourself, not to be critical. These aren't, like I said, these aren't character defects. They're the result of past experiences and pain, typically. So don't judge them, just acknowledge them, and then you've got the fuel for your tapping rounds, and you can get going immediately and start realizing the healing process. So it's important to ask yourself these questions. So do you want to let this go? Or what's the downside of achieving whatever it is you like, whether that's health or weight loss or a relationship? You never know. So ask yourself that question. And then you'll have like I said, you'll have the scripts for what you need to tap on. Okay, so let's get to some tapping now. And we're going to take responsibility for your own health. And if you want to, you can tap along with me. Just repeat after me and tap where I tap, starting on your karate chop point. Even though I don't want to let this go, I love and accept myself and my feelings. Even though there's a part of me that doesn't want to let this go, for whatever reason, or for a million reasons. There's another part of me that does, though. And I love and accept all parts of who I am. Even though I don't want to let this go. It feels too risky. And I love and honor my feelings anyway. Okay, up on your eyebrow point. I don't want to let this go. I don't want to let this go. I don't want to let this go. As crazy as that sounds, it feels like something bad would happen. And things would change in a way that I don't want them to. So I don't want to let this go. I don't want to lose what I've gained. And I'm afraid that changing this would cause me to lose something that I value very much. It's not worth it. I place a lot of value on what I have, even if it comes with a price. So I don't want to let this go. It's not worth it. I might not even recognize myself if I let this go. It's too risky. And I am gaining something in the process. I wonder if I can have both. I wonder if I can let this go and keep all the things that I value. No, it's not possible. I'm not going to do it. And you can't make me. But I wonder if it is possible. I wonder if I can let this go and hold on to the things that I value so deeply. There has to be a way. And I want to stay open and willing to the possibility of it happening. Okay. Take a nice deep breath. Well, I hope that helped you to feel more open and willing to looking at the truth of your situation and to looking at yourself honestly and with compassion and love and understanding that really your subconscious mind just wants to keep you happy and safe at all times, and it will do anything in its power to avoid pain or uncomfortable emotions or anything traumatic that you've experienced in the past. So it's trying to protect you. It's trying to keep you safe. So that's why you get paralyzed sometimes when you know that you need to move forward. It's nothing bad. It's your subconscious, trying to be your support. But it's just an effort in figuring out what that core issue is. What's the driving force behind it, and then you can tap it away. So ask yourself the right questions, be determined, don't give up. Don't give up. You will find the answer, and if you need help, I'm really, really good at asking questions. So you can find me at www.tappingwithamy.com. So thank you, and happy detective work.